What if I told you that one of the most valuable coins in America could be sitting in your pocket, a forgotten coin jar, or even your wallet right now? Some ordinary-looking U.S. state quarters have sold for thousands, and in extremely rare cases, exceptional error coins and unique specimens have reached astonishing values. Have you ever tossed a quarter onto a counter without giving it a second thought? What if that ordinary-looking coin was quietly worth far more than your car, your home, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars? Every single day, people unknowingly spend collectible coins because they never learned what makes them special. That's the difference between a spender and a collector. One sees 25 cents. The other sees opportunity. Today, we're uncovering one of the most fascinating modern American coins ever produced, the 2004 Wisconsin State Quarter. A coin surrounded by mystery, famous for its unusual minting errors, and capable of attracting astonishing prices under the right conditions. Before you dismiss the quarters hiding in your pocket, your wallet, or that forgotten coin jar on the shelf, remember this. One careful look could change everything. The Wisconsin State Quarter was released in 2004 as part of the celebrated 50 State Quarters program, a series that introduced millions of Americans to coin collecting. The design proudly features a dairy cow, a wheel of cheese, and a healthy ear of corn, celebrating Wisconsin's agricultural heritage. Millions entered circulation, making them appear ordinary at first glance. But hidden among those millions are a tiny number of extraordinary error coins that have become legendary within the numismatic community. These aren't simply old quarters. They represent one of the most famous modern mint errors ever discovered. The excitement began when collectors noticed something unusual on certain Denver mint examples. The ear of corn displayed what appeared to be an extra leaf, something never intended in the original design. Even more intriguing, these mysterious leaves appeared in two distinct varieties. One became known as the high-leaf variety, while the other became known as the low-leaf variety. These tiny differences transformed an everyday quarter into one of the most discussed modern error coins in American history. No official mint records confirm exactly how these extra leaves appeared. Some specialists believe accidental dye damage created the unusual appearance. Others have suggested different manufacturing events during the dye preparation process. Regardless of how they were created, the result is the same. Genuine examples are exceptionally scarce, highly collectible, and continuously studied by experts. That uncertainty only adds to their mystique, making every authenticated specimen a fascinating piece of minting history. Here's something you should do right now. If you have a jar of quarters sitting somewhere in your home, pause for just a moment after this video and check every 2004 Wisconsin quarter with a Denver D mint mark. It takes only seconds to examine the corn stalk, yet those few seconds could reveal a coin that collectors have searched years to find. Most people never bother looking. That's exactly why discoveries still happen. Finding the extra leaf, however, is only the first step. Experienced collectors know that condition determines value just as much as rarity. Coins that remain brilliant, sharply struck, and free from heavy circulation will command dramatically stronger prices than heavily worn examples. Professional grading services carefully inspect every surface under magnification, evaluating luster, strike quality, preservation, and originality before assigning an official grade. Even a single grade difference can significantly affect market value. Many collectors make another costly mistake. They clean their coins, believing a brighter surface automatically means a higher price. In reality, cleaning often destroys original mint surfaces and permanently reduces collectible value. Professional buyers prefer untouched coins with natural surfaces, even if they appear slightly toned. If you ever believe you've found an unusual Wisconsin quarter, resist the temptation to polish it. Sometimes leaving a coin exactly as you found it is the smartest decision you can make. Now consider this. Millions of people handled these quarters while buying coffee, paying for groceries, filling their gas tanks, or receiving change from a vending machine. Almost everyone spent them without hesitation. Meanwhile, a handful of observant collectors recognized the unusual leaves and quietly preserved them. That difference in awareness created a remarkable opportunity. Knowledge became more valuable than luck. As interest grew, demand expanded well beyond traditional coin collectors. Investors, history enthusiasts, and treasure hunters all began searching rolls of quarters from banks, hoping to uncover one of these elusive varieties. Coin roll hunting became a nationwide hobby, fueled by stories of remarkable discoveries. Every unopened roll represented another chance that an overlooked treasure remained hidden in plain sight. Let's pause for another quick reality check. How many quarters have passed through your hands over the last 10 years? Hundreds? Thousands? Imagine if just one of them carried an unusual minting error that you overlooked because you never knew what to search for. That's what makes modern error collecting so exciting. Extraordinary coins often hide among completely ordinary change. Beyond the famous extra leaf varieties, collectors also examine Wisconsin quarters for additional striking abnormalities. Off-center strikes, dramatic die cracks, retained die breaks, clipped planchets, broad strikes, and other genuine mint errors can also attract attention when authenticated. While these are generally much less famous than the extra leaf varieties, unusual combinations of multiple mint errors may generate significant collector interest. The rarer the error and the higher the grade, the greater the potential demand. Authentication remains absolutely essential. Because these quarters became so valuable, counterfeit examples and altered coins eventually appeared in the marketplace. Some individuals attempted to carve artificial leaves into ordinary quarters, hoping to imitate the famous varieties. Fortunately, experienced grading professionals can identify authentic mint errors by studying microscopic characteristics that cannot easily be duplicated. Buying or selling certified examples provides confidence for both collectors and investors. Now comes the question everyone asks: how much can one actually be worth? Average circulated examples with verified extra leaf varieties often sell for hundreds of dollars, while exceptional uncirculated specimens have realized several $1,000s depending on grade, eye appeal, and market demand. The finest certified examples continue attracting intense bidding whenever they become available because so few survive in extraordinary condition. You may have heard astonishing stories suggesting values approaching $529,000. It's important to understand what those headlines usually represent. Such extraordinary numbers reflect exceptional market scenarios involving unique circumstances, elite quality specimens, intense competitive bidding, or speculative discussions rather than the typical value of most Wisconsin error quarters. While they demonstrate how dramatically the rare coin market can reward extraordinary pieces, the vast majority of these coins trade at substantially lower prices. Even so, the possibility of discovering a valuable authenticated error in everyday change continues to inspire collectors across America. Here's another question worth thinking about. If someone handed you 10 ordinary-looking quarters today, would you know which one deserved a closer inspection? That's the advantage knowledge gives collectors. The more you learn, the more opportunities you begin to notice. Every coin tells a story, but only careful observers hear it. The Wisconsin extra leaf quarter also reminds us that modern coins deserve attention just as much as historic classics. Many people believe only centuries-old coins become valuable. Yet this remarkable quarter proves that rarity can emerge almost overnight when unexpected minting events occur. Sometimes history isn't buried in ancient treasure chests. Sometimes it's hiding inside your grocery store change. Market interest in modern era coins continues evolving as new generations of collectors enter the hobby. Online auctions, professional grading, educational resources, and collector communities have made information more accessible than ever before. That growing awareness has strengthened demand for iconic modern errors like the Wisconsin extra leaf quarter, reinforcing its place among the most recognizable mint mistakes produced during the state quarters program. Imagine opening an old family coin jar inherited from your parents or grandparents. Dust covers the lid, and inside are hundreds of forgotten quarters collected over decades. Most people would exchange them at the bank without a second thought. A knowledgeable collector would patiently examine every single coin because remarkable discoveries often happen when others rush. Patience has always been one of the greatest advantages in numismatics. The lesson extends beyond coins. Opportunities rarely announce themselves with flashing lights. They often appear ordinary until someone takes a closer look. The Wisconsin quarter teaches us that curiosity, education, and careful observation can reveal hidden value where everyone else sees only spare change. That's a mindset successful collectors develop over years of experience. As the rare coin market continues attracting worldwide attention, remarkable modern errors remain highly desirable because they combine fascinating history, genuine scarcity, and unforgettable stories. Every authenticated Wisconsin extra leaf quarter serves as evidence that even one small production anomaly can create a lasting legacy remembered by collectors for generations. So before you spend another quarter, slow down for a moment. Examine the date. Look for the Denver Mint mark. Study the ear of corn carefully. You may find nothing unusual at all. Or you may discover a conversation piece that countless collectors have spent years searching for. The only guaranteed way to miss an opportunity is never looking in the first place. And remember, the hunt never truly ends. Every pocketful of change carries possibility. Every coin roll holds suspense. And every collection may conceal a forgotten treasure waiting to be recognized. Keep learning, keep searching, and keep questioning what others overlook. Because in our next episode, we'll reveal another ultra-rare American coin with a legendary minting mistake that has stunned collectors and sparked incredible auction headlines. You won't want to miss the next hidden treasure that could be sitting unnoticed in everyday pocket change. What if I told you that a quarter sitting in your pocket, your car's cup holder, or an old coin jar could be worth far more than its face value? Most people spend a quarter without giving it a second thought. Collectors, on the other hand, know that one unusual detail can transform an ordinary-looking coin into an incredible discovery. That difference in mindset separates the spender from the collector. While one person unknowingly buys a cup of coffee, another could be holding a modern rarity that attracts serious attention from advanced numismatists. Today, we're taking a deep dive into one of the most fascinating modern quarters ever released, the 2020 Salt River Bay $quarter coin. Hidden among millions of ordinary coins are a handful of extraordinary examples featuring rare minting errors and exceptional preservation. Some of these coins have generated astonishing excitement in the collecting community, with the finest and rarest examples being discussed alongside values reaching as high as six figures, with extraordinary claims sometimes approaching $601,000 when unique characteristics, elite condition, and market demand align. Before you spend another quarter, you may want to listen carefully. The Salt River Bay Quarter is part of the popular America the Beautiful Quarters program, celebrating Salt River Bay National Historical Park and Ecological Preserve in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Released in 2020, the design honors both American history and the natural beauty of one of the Caribbean's most important ecosystems. The reverse features a striking red mangrove tree, rooted in shallow water while a young egret prepares to take flight. It's a beautiful design, but for collectors, beauty is only the beginning. The real excitement begins when the manufacturing process doesn't go exactly as planned. Tiny mistakes at the United States Mint can create coins that become legendary among collectors. Here's something most people never realize. The vast majority of modern quarters are worth exactly 25 cents. Yet every production run involves thousands of tiny mechanical movements occurring every minute. Massive dies strike blank planchets under tremendous pressure. When even one part of this process goes wrong, unusual varieties can be created. Most errors are caught and destroyed before leaving the mint. A few escape into circulation. Those survivors become the coins collectors dream about finding. Now here's your first attention reset. If you have a jar of quarters somewhere in your home, pause for just a moment after this video and check it. Thousands of collectors have made valuable discoveries in coins they almost cashed in at the bank. The next great find could already belong to someone who has no idea what they're holding. Let's examine the specific errors that have made certain 2020 Salt River Bay quarters so desirable. One of the most discussed is the struck-through error. During production, grease, cloth fibers, or tiny fragments of metal can become trapped between the die and the coin blank. When this happens, parts of the design may appear weak, missing, or unusually smooth. While minor struck-through errors are relatively common, dramatic examples with clear visual impact are much scarcer and receive strong interest from specialists. Another highly sought-after variety is the off-center strike. Normally, the coin blank sits perfectly aligned beneath the dies before the strike occurs. Occasionally, The blank shifts just enough to create a design that is noticeably off-center while still showing a complete date and mint mark. These pieces are instantly recognizable and often command significant premiums because every off-center percentage creates a unique appearance. Collectors also pay close attention to broad strike errors. These occur when the retaining collar fails to contain the coin during striking. Without the collar, the metal spreads outward under pressure, producing a coin that appears wider than normal with missing reeded edges. Because the design stretches across a larger surface, broad-struck quarters have a dramatic appearance that immediately attracts attention. Die cracks are another fascinating category. Over time, minting dies experience incredible stress from striking thousands upon thousands of coins. Eventually, tiny fractures can develop. These cracks transfer raised lines onto every coin struck afterward. In some cases, the crack grows into what's called a retained cud or even a full cud, where part of the die actually breaks away. These bold raised features can transform an otherwise ordinary quarter into a prized collectible. Double die varieties also generate tremendous excitement. Unlike doubling caused by machine vibration, a genuine double die originates during the die creation process itself. Careful inspection may reveal extra thickness or separation in letters, numbers, or design elements. Although dramatic double dies are uncommon, authenticated examples often become key pieces in modern collections. Here's another question for you. When was the last time you actually looked at the edge of a quarter before spending it? Probably never. Yet serious collectors inspect every detail because missing reeds, partial collar strikes, and edge abnormalities can all signal a valuable mint error. Sometimes the smallest detail becomes the biggest payday. Condition plays an equally important role in determining value. Two identical coins with the same error can sell for dramatically different prices depending on preservation. Coins graded mint state 67, mint state 68, or even mint state 69 represent extraordinary survivors. These pieces retain exceptional luster, minimal contact marks, and razor-sharp details. Professional grading services evaluate every surface under magnification, and the difference of a single grade point can multiply value many times over. Now let's address the number everyone wants to hear. Could a 2020 Salt River Bay quarter truly be worth $601,000? It's important to understand how the coin market works. Ordinary circulation examples are generally worth face value. Even many minor errors sell for modest premiums. However, truly extraordinary combinations, a spectacular mint error, an elite certified grade, exceptional eye appeal, and intense competition between advanced collectors can produce astonishing auction results. Headlines about six-figure values usually represent the absolute finest known examples or exceptionally rare circumstances rather than average coins. That's why authentication and professional grading are essential before assigning extraordinary values. The coin market has changed dramatically over the past decade. Modern error coins once overlooked are now receiving unprecedented attention. New collectors enter the hobby every year, while social media and online auctions expose rare discoveries to millions of potential buyers. Increased visibility creates stronger competition, especially for unique pieces that may never appear on the market again. Scarcity and demand continue to drive prices for the best examples. Here's another attention reset. Imagine dumping a handful of quarters onto your kitchen table tonight. One by one, you begin checking dates, mint marks, strike quality, and unusual features. Most will be ordinary, but what if just one isn't? What if one quarter changes the value of that entire handful? That's exactly why collectors never stop searching. Many valuable discoveries happen by accident. Someone receives change from a grocery store. Another inherits an old coin jar from a family member. A forgotten roll of bank-wrapped quarters sits untouched for years before someone finally opens it. Treasure hunting doesn't always require expensive purchases. Sometimes it begins with curiosity and careful observation. If you believe you've found an unusual Salt River Bay quarter, resist the temptation to clean it. Cleaning can permanently damage a coin's surface and dramatically reduce its collectible value. Instead, handle it carefully by the edges, place it in a protective holder, and consider having it examined by a reputable coin dealer or submitted to a professional grading service. Authentication separates genuine mint errors from post-mint damage, and that distinction can mean the difference between a valuable collectible and an ordinary damaged coin. There's also an important psychological lesson hidden within this hobby. Every coin tells a story. It passes through countless hands, survives years of circulation, and occasionally carries a tiny mistake that escaped one of the most advanced manufacturing facilities in the world. Those imperfections become historical fingerprints. Collectors aren't simply buying metal. They're preserving a unique moment in the minting process that can never be recreated. As demand continues to grow for modern-era coins, the search becomes even more exciting. Fewer untouched examples remain in circulation every year. More collectors are learning exactly what to look for, and every newly discovered rarity reduces the number still waiting to be found. That's what creates urgency. The next remarkable discovery may already be sitting in someone's pocket, cash register, or forgotten coin jar. Before you spend another quarter, take just a few extra seconds to inspect it. Look closely at the date. Check the mint mark. Study the design. Examine the edges. Search for doubling, cracks, off-center strikes, broad strikes, or other unusual characteristics. That simple habit has transformed ordinary people into fortunate discoverers of remarkable coins. The world of numismatics continues to prove that extraordinary value can hide in the most ordinary places. While most 2020 Salt River Bay quarters will always remain worth 25 cents, a tiny number stand apart because of extraordinary minting errors, exceptional preservation, and overwhelming collector demand. Those are the coins that inspire headlines, ignite bidding wars, and remind us that hidden treasures still exist in everyday change. And here's the exciting part, you've only scratched the surface. In our next video, we'll uncover another ultra-rare American coin that many people have already spent without realizing its incredible potential. Some experts believe examples are still quietly circulating today. You won't want to miss that story, because the next life-changing discovery could be waiting in your own pocket right now. Imagine reaching into your pocket for a simple quarter to pay for a cup of coffee, completely unaware that the same coin could be worth far more than a luxury home. It sounds unbelievable, but stories like this have fueled the dreams of coin collectors across America for decades. Somewhere, hidden inside an old coin jar, a forgotten piggy bank, or even loose change from the grocery store, there may be a rare quarter waiting to be discovered. Today, we're taking a closer look at the fascinating 2001 Vermont state quarter, one of the most talked about coins among collectors because of its unusual minting errors and the extraordinary values some exceptional examples have achieved. But here's the important part. Not every 2001 Vermont quarter is valuable. Only specific high-grade coins and genuine mint error varieties command significant premiums. That means the difference between spending it and saving it could come down to details almost invisible to the naked eye. Most people never inspect their pocket change. They spend it without a second thought. Collectors, however, understand that history sometimes hides in plain sight. Every coin tells a story, and occasionally that story becomes incredibly valuable. The Vermont quarter, released as part of the famous 50-state quarters program, celebrates the state's beautiful landscape with maple trees, sap buckets, and Camel's Hump Mountain standing proudly in the background. Millions were struck for circulation, making ordinary examples extremely common. Yet hidden among those millions are a handful of remarkable coins created by accidental mistakes during the minting process or preserved in extraordinary condition. Before you dismiss the idea, consider this. Throughout American numismatic history, coins with dramatic mint errors have sold for astonishing amounts because collectors prize uniqueness above almost everything else. A coin that should have looked ordinary but left the mint with an unusual flaw instantly becomes different from millions of identical pieces. That difference is exactly what creates collector demand. Now here's a question that could change how you look at your change forever. When was the last time you checked the quarters sitting in your car's cup holder or that forgotten jar in the kitchen? Most people haven't looked in years. Yet collectors know that treasures are often discovered in the places everyone else ignores. The 2001 Vermont quarter was produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints for circulation, while proof versions were struck in San Francisco for collectors. Each mint produced coins with impressive precision, but no manufacturing process is perfect. During high-speed production, mistakes occasionally slipped through quality control, creating coins that today are highly desirable. One of the first things experienced collectors examine is the mint mark. A P represents Philadelphia, a D indicates Denver, and proof coins carry the S mint mark. Although the mint mark alone doesn't guarantee value, it helps identify which varieties deserve closer inspection. The real excitement begins when collectors start searching for genuine mint errors. Among the most desirable are dramatic off-center strikes. During the striking process, if the blank planchet isn't perfectly aligned inside the collar, part of the design fails to appear. Depending on how dramatic the misalignment is while still showing the date and mint mark, these coins can attract serious collector attention. Larger off-center strikes that clearly display the error often command much stronger prices than minor examples. Another fascinating variety is the broad strike error. Normally, a collar surrounds the coin during striking, giving it its precise diameter and distinctive reeded edge. When the collar fails, the coin expands outward, creating a larger appearance with distorted edges. These unusual pieces immediately stand out compared to normal quarters. Collectors also search carefully for double-struck examples. Imagine a coin receiving one strike and then being struck again after shifting position. The result can produce overlapping images, duplicated lettering, or distorted details that instantly reveal something extraordinary happened during production. Authentic double strikes are among the most visually dramatic mint errors ever discovered. Die cracks provide another area of excitement. Over time, enormous striking pressure causes dies to develop fractures. When this happens, raised lines appear on the finished coin where metal flows into those cracks. While minor die cracks are relatively common, extensive retained cuds and major die breaks are significantly scarcer and often generate considerable collector interest. Perhaps the most dramatic of all are clipped planchets. Before striking, coin blanks are punched from large sheets of metal. Occasionally, a blank is cut from an overlapping position, leaving part of the coin missing in a smooth curved shape. These clipped planchet errors are genuine mint mistakes and remain favorites among collectors because they're immediately recognizable. Here's something many people don't realize. A coin doesn't need an error to become valuable. Condition alone can transform an ordinary quarter into a prized collectible. Coins graded mint state 67, mint state 68, or even finer become increasingly scarce because very few circulation strikes survive without contact marks, scratches, or wear. The higher the certified grade, the greater the rarity. This is where professional grading becomes incredibly important. Independent grading companies carefully authenticate coins, evaluate preservation, identify genuine mint errors, and assign standardized grades. Certification gives collectors confidence that they're purchasing authentic pieces rather than altered coins or damaged examples. Now take a quick break and think about this. If you have a container filled with old quarters somewhere in your house, why not pause this video after we're finished and examine every single 2001 Vermont quarter you own? It could take only a few minutes, yet those minutes might reveal something you've overlooked for years. The popularity of the state quarters program created millions of new collectors across the United States. Children filled coin maps, families searched pocket change together, and many complete collections were assembled directly from circulation. Decades later, those same coins are being re-examined with fresh interest as collectors hunt for overlooked varieties and exceptionally preserved examples. Auction activity continues to demonstrate the strength of the rare coin market. While ordinary circulated Vermont quarters remain worth only face value, exceptional certified specimens, dramatic mint errors, and top population examples have attracted intense competition among advanced collectors. Reports of premium sales remind collectors that rarity, eye appeal, authenticity, and condition all work together to determine value. You've probably seen headlines claiming a Vermont quarter is worth as much as $633,000. It's important to understand those claims carefully. Such extraordinary values would require an exceptionally rare combination of factors, such as an extraordinary mint error, elite certified condition, unique collector demand, or an unusual auction circumstance. The overwhelming majority of 2001 Vermont quarters are not worth anywhere near that amount. However, genuine major error coins and the finest certified examples can still command impressive premiums, which is exactly why careful inspection matters. Think about how many people unknowingly spend collectible coins every single day. They buy gasoline, groceries, or a morning coffee without ever looking at the dates or mint marks. Meanwhile, knowledgeable collectors quietly inspect every handful of change because they understand opportunity often arrives disguised as something ordinary. Here's another challenge for you. The next time you receive quarters as change, don't put them away immediately. Turn each one over. Look closely at the lettering. Examine the edges. Search for unusual doubling, missing details, dramatic misalignment, or anything that looks different from an ordinary coin. That simple habit has introduced countless collectors to the fascinating world of numismatics. The excitement surrounding rare coins isn't just about money. It's about history, craftsmanship, and discovery. Every coin passed through countless hands before reaching yours. Some traveled across the country. Others sat forgotten in collections for decades. Every scratch tells part of a story, and every genuine mint error represents a rare moment when the mint's machinery created something completely unexpected. Collectors often describe searching through pocket change as modern treasure hunting. Unlike buried treasure, these discoveries don't require expensive equipment or dangerous adventures. All they require is patience, knowledge, and attention to detail. Those three qualities separate collectors from spenders. As demand for certified error coins continues to grow, the competition for the finest examples becomes even stronger. Advanced collectors constantly search for pieces with outstanding eye appeal, verified authenticity, and exceptional preservation because opportunities to purchase them are limited. Once an extraordinary coin enters a permanent collection, it may not appear on the market again for many years. So before you overlook another handful of change, remember the lesson of the 2001 Vermont quarter. Most examples are ordinary, but a tiny number possess characteristics that make them genuinely special. Understanding the difference could completely change the way you view every coin that passes through your hands. History has shown that remarkable discoveries continue to happen when people least expect them. Hidden inside forgotten collections, inherited coin jars, estate sales, and everyday circulation, valuable treasures still emerge. The next great discovery may not come from a professional dealer or a wealthy investor. It could come from someone exactly like you who simply decided to look a little closer. And this is only the beginning. If you think the 2001 Vermont quarter is fascinating, wait until you see the next coin we're uncovering. In our next episode, we'll reveal another ultra-rare American coin with astonishing mint errors, incredible auction history, and values that have stunned even experienced collectors. You won't want to miss it, because the next life-changing discovery could already be hiding in your pocket right now.